So if we're holding that kind of like that accepted model of stress, that stress is an inevitability, that we just have to deal with it, and that there are certain situations that are inherently stressful. If we're holding that model, if we're going through life holding that belief, then there's only two ways of dealing with stress. And one of them is to avoid these stressful situations. One of them is to try and mould life into a shape where we don't experience stressful situations. And a lot of people do that. It's very limiting. And it's not very effective at all, because shit happens all the time. And, you know, marriages, divorces, maybe not so much imprisonments, but, you know, for many people, imprisonments. Certainly illnesses, certainly death, certainly loss of jobs, certainly change in work situations, certainly financial. You know, it's all going to happen. You can't avoid these things. So if you're holding that belief that situations are stressful, then you're going to really limit your life trying to avoid those situations. Well, the other one is okay, you accept that you're going to experience these stressful situations, and you have to develop coping mechanisms. You have to cleanse yourself of stress, and you have to have a self-care practice that means that you can rid yourself of stress. So, you know, you have to definitely get out and do your exercise, otherwise you're just going to get overwhelmed with stress. Or you have to meditate every day, or you have to do your yoga, or you have to... No, there's nothing inherently wrong with any of those things at all. But when we believe that stress is an inevitability, you can either try and avoid the situations, or you can just try and deal with it as best you can. Spend a lot of money on like going to seminars and doing programs and going on retreats and you know, learning all these new coping techniques for dealing with stress. And that's the experience that most of us are having. It's the experience that I had for much of my life before I came across this understanding. So this is what happens when we have some insights around stress being essentially a creation of thought, and not actually being a thing. Just like knowing how it works, knowing where stress is coming from. It doesn't mean you're never going to experience stress. It just means you're not taking it seriously at all, because you know it's just a reflection of thought. It's a barometer on how much your left brain's getting in on the action.